All right, so I presented at Adel, and a lot of people really, really liked the brain breaks that I shared with them. So just to go over what a brain break is really quick, it's basically something you do during direct instruction, right? So as you're presenting the notes or whatever direct instruction you're doing, it's good to give students a little break, right? So brain research shows essentially that after talking for a long time, students' interest kind of starts to wane, right? So one of the things you could do to kind of get their attention back is to stop what you're doing, to stop the notes, and basically do a short little activity. So that's basically all this is, right? So this presentation with all the different brain snacks, as Mr. Rowan calls them, or brain breaks, whatever you want to call them, they're all going to be in the description of the video. Now, when you download it, make sure you click File here, and then you put download as a PowerPoint like this right there, because if not, it's going to look a little weird on Google Slides. You can probably still use it through Google Slides, but it's just some of the features will be a little different and the fonts and stuff are all messed up. So this is what it should look like, right? So basically what it is, like I said, is a little break, right? So the way I explain it to my students, since I teach DI, is I call them paletero breaks, right? So I tell them basically, when you see this slide come on, you stop what you're doing, you draw a line as it shows here under your last note, then you do a little brain snack, and then at the end you draw another line so you know that those are just the brain snacks, right? They're not part of the notes that we do. So I call them paletero breaks basically because just like a real paletero, right? When you hear the ice cream man outside, you stop whatever you're doing and you go focus and you go outside on with the paletero, right? With the ice cream man. So that's why I call it that. We can call it whatever you want, essentially, right? So Mr. Rowan, like I said, who gave me all these, he basically calls them brain snacks, right? But again, still the same thing. The whole idea is basically it's a mini little 2 minute activity that the students do. So, for example, this one is called Snowball. So this one's pretty fun. So what the students do is, again, they stop what they're doing in the middle of the lecture notes. They get a half sheet of paper. They write a question. They crumble it up, and then they either throw them at you, or they can throw them at each other. So there's different ways of doing it. So they can throw them at each other, and then each student has to get one, and then try to answer it. Or you you have them throw them at you, and then you can answer, or sorry, you can have them answer the questions that they came up with, right? So again, that's basically what these different ones are. So there's like force associations. So you give them two very unrelated things, and they have to make a forced association. So for example, one of the examples I gave at Addo was like the Island Boys, right? So we're learning about George Washington, and all of a sudden we do this brain snack or brain break, and I show them this video of these two little rapper wannabe guys, whatever. And so I usually pick really funny ones or really weird ones. And they have to now tell me what George Washington has in common with these island boys, right? So some of the things they come up with is, oh, they both have funny hair. They're both, trying to make it to the top, as the song says. So basically, all they have to do is make a weird association with some video, or it could just be an item, right? So what does the American Revolution have to do with the shoe, right? And they have to somehow try to figure out how those two things can be related. It can be as simple as draw a picture. We're learning about cathedrals, draw a picture of a cathedral. So again, do a tweet about the previous thing that we were talking about. If you're learning about a person at the end, you can have them do a 6 word memorial on how that person should be remembered. So there's a lot of different types of brain breaks you can do. Some more simple than others. Like, for example, this one, underline the 5 most important words from the last section. Very, very simple things, right? But the whole idea is you pause on your presentation, you pause on your direct instruction, and they do a short little activity, and then you get back into the notes, right? Just to give them a little break from paying attention, from writing the notes down, essentially. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So again, like I said, there's a bunch of these, by the way, a lot of these. So this is all going to be a link to these are going to be in the description of the video. All right. Thank you guys for watching.